Hey, I'm Scott Woodward. I'm two-time Moscone Cup MVP, and you're watching Railbirds TV.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeremy Jones with Railbirds TV. This is a round 4 match between two of the greatest that's ever played one pocket, Francisco Bustamante and Cliff Joyner. Cliff has a loss, so he's on his buyback right now with Francisco undefeated after 3 rounds. Cliff's won the lag, though, so it's a good start if you're trying to survive. You can see Francisco with 3 nice wins. And then sponsored by Bear Q's, Puyat Sports, and Hustling. Francisco, who's won this one pocket event before. Cliff Joyner, 2 nice wins, and then a loss in round 3. Both guys actually have won this one pocket event before, I'm pretty sure. There's one of the sponsors, Diamond Billiard Products and Billiard Shopping Network. It's still a race to 3. Should be a very entertaining match. Like I said, both guys Hall of Famers, and both guys really play the game in a complete fashion. Now, Cliff may not be exactly in top form, but still has his wit, and I think he's playing a little bit more than he had after having a health issue. And Francisco, amazingly, at 56 or now maybe 57. Oh, this is going to hurt for Cliff to start, though. He's a little straight here, Francisco, but may go behind the back. It's normally what you'd see here. Really good with the bridge, too, though. I think he probably tries to get position, but the ball below the 6, which is the 15, if that ball went, you definitely probably try to get position. Oh, he's going to come to the 11. That's probably a smart shot, just to guarantee that second shot, and then he got a lot out of it too, and maybe 2 straight actually. He's got to be very careful here, that Bustamante doesn't want to get stuck up and with the 9 ball near Cliff's pocket, and just got so much power. And I think he got a shot on the 3, and the 10 does go, and maybe he didn't. If he didn't, he's going to may have to cut that 15, go right up into the 6. Could not come away with a shot there also, but most likely won't get stuck. He's got a bank on the 5 ball he's looking at. He could put him behind the 9 pretty easily, going through the 10. Kind of hitting it real full with spin, but I'm not sure what he's looking at there. 2 really isn't playable. He'd sure like to try and do something with the 5 just because it sits so nice. But I'm not sure he can. He can maybe shove it forward and kind of double him up on the 11-10, but I don't know about this. He's going to put a lot of heavy spin, I think, and try and come between the 14 and the 10 here, drawing it. Oh no, he shoved it. What a beautiful shot, though. No, he missed it, but that wasn't easy with the cue ball. But I tell you, Cliff's not in a bad position here. If he can get at that 5, I'm not sure if he can. The 4 might have him snookered. If he could, I might take a chance of shooting through that ball and putting the cue ball in that upper left-hand corner. That put a lot of heat on Bustamante, and especially if it frees him to the rail where he had to roll the ball. Only reason I'm saying, because I don't really see much down here. I mean, you could bank the 6 across and lay the cue ball on the side rail, you know, the long rail behind the 3 kind of, but and it could turn out nice, and it's a real safe shot. That's what he's going to do, you see here, but he caught the 3. So that's not supposed to happen. That was just a miss hit. There wasn't really that much danger in that shot. And we'll see, Bustamante's got a big ball. That being the 13 kissing off the 6. If he can get the 10 on the bottom of the 13, the middle of the 13, he's got a chance to make one now. Does he take a chance there? I don't know. He's got to do something with the cue ball. He's just going to put him behind the 9. Trying to just get a few more balls on this side. Doesn't want to be able to get behind the 3, though, for Cliff. Cliff's still in a great position, really. Yeah, and he hit it well, pretty well anyways, I think. And I like going into it with a little speed like that. Not only that, you control the hit, but I like getting that separation of those 2 balls there. Makes it a little more difficult for Bustamante just like feather the 3 and go back on it or lay on the rail. Okay, he's got to elevate here. And he caught the 13 ball, so Cliff's going to have a nice shot, especially for a right-hander. Now the balls are sitting kind of funny, so man, you could run the cue ball here a couple rails and try and get on the 4, but I hate to not get on anything. I mean, you could get on a combo on the side rail, but he went into him. I think that's okay, and this got a little funny. He may need a little kiss on this ball, or he's going to be stretched. Because if you try to throw this in to really spin the cue ball back behind maybe the 4, or keep it behind this 14, you could miss this ball, I believe, especially with the bridge. I'd like to just be hitting this naturally, trying to come up one rail and creeping above the 4 ball maybe. Maybe get a shot on the 14, but I kind of think it's one of those funny angles. You may need a kiss here on a double kiss to hold position. Unless you really shoot it with speed. And that's what I mean. See, there was just a funny one to... Now he's right in the middle. And really, with a bridge, maybe reaching over right-handed, you shoot at this, I guess. I know Cliff, in his heyday, he's definitely shooting it. And he got nice position on the 4 here. Now you see if the 3 goes. And I believe it does. Main thing is don't force it. You can always use another ball to get on the 3 later. Yeah, you overcut it trying to move it a little bit. Bustamante's going to size this bank up here because this bank really leads him to a lot of position for sure. He could do it with the cut, but if he runs into like the 2, he might get stopped, not in position. If he runs into something funny, he might get on a scratch angle on the rail. So if he can bank this first one, but he's going to go ahead and cut it. Try and get behind the 4-8 probably. Oh, he went and took a chance, and that's how there wasn't much of a guarantee. And now, like I said, funny on the 4, the 3 ain't that great. The 8's okay, but you almost have to roll it and take your chances there instead of shooting it. And you can't roll it with a whole lot of speed because you might scratch. So I might not even shoot at anything right here. He's spinning this with heavy inside English, looks like to me. Trying to go past the 8. Yeah. That's the problem here also. You give up a bank, but The good thing about that shot was you could probably win the game with it. Now another one, don't try to force it here. I mean, balls are sitting pretty nice. Get this one down. If you creep above the 3, that's good, but and again, both the misses were trying to really help the cue ball, it looked like, and don't think Bustamante shoots at this one just to get one. I mean, I don't think so. I think he just knocks it away. Main thing on this shot is don't let up. Make sure you get in that cue ball. If it doesn't freeze to the rail, that's okay, but don't let it get away from you and make a so-so kind of weak hit on the object ball, and maybe even float the cue ball forward towards a scratch. Okay, Cliff could elevate, probably will. He's got the 2 and the 6, is it, on his side? No, that's the 7. Really kind of keeping Bustamante from a lot of shots. Bustamante didn't even look at it. That's a real good cue ball there, and if that ball hadn't gone in the side, that could have been a little bit of trouble for Cliff. Another one, don't back off. Go ahead and bang the 4 into the 8 or the 6. Oh, maybe it don't. This could be trouble. Oof. The most narrow misses there. That would have been unfortunate. Catching the 8 so thin it still goes between the 3 and the 6 all the way up table and back. Again, I'm not sure Bustamante does much here. Could go forward on the 8, but with nothing near the pocket, that's not, send the 8 into that other ball. You could, I like if he's going to do it mildly, but he left Cliff a nice bank on the 6. He's close to it. He's got to throw it backwards. I would think I would ignore the 4. You can't really take a good path with the 4 if you're going to be offensive. If you're going to be offensive with a shot, yeah, he's not. And that's surprising. The 6 looked like to me he could draw over to the side rail behind those balls, and I think he just overlooked it. And then again, he may have told himself prior to this match he's going to play a certain type of game if he can. That's the problem. As the levels of play go up, one player can't dictate as much as the way the balls lay. The way the balls lay has a lot more to do with things than, say, if you're in a challenge match or an action match of some sort and you're giving a guy a handicap. Well, that's when you tend to think you can play a certain style or play a certain type of style that suits to win that match. But the better players are even here, the best ever. That theory goes a little bit out the window. So here it's a round 4 match. It's the first game with Cliff broke in the first game here. It's 3-3 in the ball count. Like I said, both these guys know the game really well and they pay attention. Execute still at a very high level, world class, and so expect this to possibly be a very long game. No one really giving in. Now Cliff's aiming. All right, he's going to bank at this 2 ball, and I don't blame him. Looks like it lays pretty nice. Oh, he hit it nice. Good speed. Didn't let the cue ball go very far considering the way the shot laid. Could have got some more from it too, considering the bank on, I think, is the 15 ball. It's near Bustamante there. Busty's banking at this cross corner. Got such a good stroke. Hit it great. Now here's where you don't elevate, I don't think. I mean, you can. I think it's okay to roll the ball here. Just concede the 2. Not sure there's anything else you can really consider. You could elevate and stab it, I guess. I would probably just level out and roll it. I think you're supposed to be able to execute that, and it makes it a little more touchy. I was going to say that looked like it needed to slow down. Pretty sure he did want to scratch behind that one. So it's going to cost Cliff 1. Now Bustamante, he can't really. I mean, he could shoot the ball to try to make the top one, but you could see that the banks are the double bank on the bottom ball that's spotted here, the 2 ball. Those banks are covered up, so most likely a safety. Kind of depends on how he wants to shoot it. He can shoot it off this side and shoot kind of straight through it and let the cue ball just go straight to the bottom rail here, like a medium, little less than medium. Oh, he shot the draw with the other balls there, and that's surprising, especially if the 4 goes, which I don't think it does. Oh, maybe. Yeah, with the double bank really not available, and the double bank's going to have some speed on it. Now, the cue ball is in a nice place, I think. The 4 is all right. Of course, he could have drawn and opened those. So just don't usually shoot it when the double bank isn't available to get near the hole also. Cliff's sizing something up. I think it's just something getting at the 9, maybe. That was a really nice hit there. Learned something from there, folks. On that shot. Probably just come off the 2 here and guide the cue ball below the 9. Just 1 ball, no reason to panic. You could give him a little bit of a bank to send back at his hole, but most likely he won't be able to bury the cue ball on you again, so you just don't do anything too much. The most simple shot, you can get the cue ball down there. It looked like the 2 was the shot. Try and get him on the rail just to keep him from being able to hit the bottom of the cue ball on some type of bank where he wants to hold the cue ball. Looks like, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's a little elevated here. I think he's just trying to bank that ball into that 10, bank the 4, and just draw the ball. And disregard where the object balls are going. If they go towards his hole, fine. And he already has one near his hole, so he's trying to draw. He caught it thin. I don't think he was trying to 2-rail it. I think he was just trying to hit it thick and swing the ball underneath, the 6, 7, what is that? 2, 3, 4, 8 over there. I'm surprised Bustamante's not looking at this long railer. Maybe he can't draw past the side pocket. I think he can, though, and draw to the end rail and try and make that long rail bank. It sits pretty nice. Looks like he's going to go this route and swing the cue ball. Well, what's so incredibly important there is the speed of the object ball. Obviously, the cue ball's got to get pretty safe, but you can leave the guy a lot more of a shot. And if he doesn't get the object ball in a good spot there, well, that shot really ain't that great because he can bank the 10. He ain't got to worry too much. But with the 9 near the pocket, I think Cliff's just going to play this ball down. I'm not sure what he was trying there. Okay, he's got a choice here. Probably just plays for that single ball over there in the middle of the table. Oh, he's coming for the other ones, and I thought that was a little dangerous. He might get snookered. He's got the bank, though. And this is one that looks like it's sitting pretty nice. I think he'll just have to shoot it. Yeah, Bustamante always playing the cue ball now. Oh, Cliff and Stroke would definitely elevate on this 15 in the middle of the table that's near him, and the side pocket he's standing over, and kind of hold bank that in. I think he might pop it. I think you're supposed to shoot it some kind of way. Looks like he's crossing it like a lag speed. I like him elevating on this and kind of shooting it in a little bit more. However he wants to do it, stun it, draw it, whatever. Wow, it hit the pocket and flew off the table. Wow, that was strong. So Bustamante, he could take a chance here at trying to break these out. I don't think he'll try to come backwards for the 6 or the 10. May get on a double bank, but yeah, he tried to get him. All right, he may bank the 10, I'm not sure. He's got to worry about the 4 a little bit if he banks the 10. So he may hit the cue ball with little inside English, but then he could. Oh, he banked the 6. Wow, what a shot. That is too good, Mr. Bustamante. Now, I don't think he has the 2-railer. I'd probably take the 2 spot balls off here, maybe, because his banks doesn't go right there. You're only going to give him an opportunity to bank one, I think, doing that. And that's what happened on the 4. I think maybe coming off the 2 spot balls right there and laying them on the back rail and get one on your side is probably something like the shot, especially with that lead. But hard to question Bustamante. Oh, he hit it nice. Hit it nice. Tables are playing tough. I wonder if Cliff plays a throw shot here, tries to bank this ball back towards his hole with a top right English. That's laying about perfect, I think, almost to swing the cue ball up table, and you hit the 11 pretty, cut it to the right a little bit, but that'll throw that second ball a lot where it has a little English to maybe play it back to Cliff's pocket. Oh, he just played the kick shot. Oh, and I think he got a piece of it. Yeah, just feathered the 10. Now Bustamante could maybe play that 2-railer and draw off the ball. Yeah, and that's okay. Just because if he does shoot off those spot balls, he's got to shoot being elevated over the 7. So Bustamante may come across the 2 here, play the 2 over to his side, and try and get the cue ball on the end rail. I don't think it banks, does it? Oh, he's just going to knock it over there. Very aware, but Cliff should play this 2 over to his side. Play the cue ball down on the bottom rail where Bustamante can't see the 2 ball, so bank this 2 over near his side pocket. Lay the cue ball down on the back rail. You can see the 3 balls on the spot. Should cover up the path to the 2. He may be kicking it, though. Nothing wrong with that. I think behind maybe the other shot a little bit. Who knows? It's just other shot kind of, you want to start developing problems for Bustamante more, I think. That may be in the side. Looks like it. Nope. And this is kind of what I meant on Cliff's shot. Now Cliff's got to come off the 4, not giving up a shot with the 2 ball over there. So, and he's not going to even take any chances being behind in the game. But this is what he wants Bustamante doing, which Bustamante probably wouldn't have done, but maybe. I might kick at those 2 balls down there. I don't know. It just kind of depends. It's hard to tell from here exactly, but it's 11 playable from up table. That combination on the 15-11. Well, Cliff may try to find out right here. I know they're close together, but yeah, I'm not sure from here. I mean, the 2 ball, you can play it cross corner and swing the cue ball. Let the 2 just go into those balls. You aren't going to get anything near your pocket, but if you can take care of the cue ball, getting it somewhat where it's at now, take a chance at rubbing the 4 and the 8 open a little bit. Now, Cliff may be shooting that combo I was talking about, but I think he can be a little aggressive at the 2. I don't think he'll kiss off the 2 and go into the 4-8 directly and sell out. I think he can go by him to the, yeah, well, it's a great camera angle there because that really shows it's tough. Well, if you're just joining us, this is Cliff Joyner at the table in a round 1 match against Francisco Bustamante, 2 Hall of Famers. I'm sorry, did I say a round 1 match? It's a round 4 match. I already discussed that, but it slipped my mind for some reason. Cliff has 1 loss and Bustamante has 0. So both important, but you can tell obviously what the difference between the matches to the 2 guys. Now I wonder if Bustamante will feather this 11 open, taking a little bit of a chance. It's not sitting bad though, because he can be aggressive with the cue ball coming back at the 3 and the 7. So it's the safer shot too. He challenged Cliff a couple times. Yeah, just kind of hit the 11, whatever, third of the ball and just run the cue ball 1 rail right at the 3 and the 7. Let him open up lightly. You know, the 15 will come up towards the 2 a little bit. The 4 will go over a little. 8 should stay about where it's at. The other ball, yeah, like that. Now he hit it thick, and so the cue ball didn't run, which is okay. And that because the ball's laid so nice, they weren't really going to sell out, I don't think. But you'd rather have the cue ball. Just imagine something like that, and the cue ball's up over the 3 and the 7. Doesn't have to be dead over it, but somewhere up in there. Things are very difficult then. Cliff's going to shoot at this because he can go into the 11. 11's going to hold off the 8. And he can probably get shape. Yeah. It's going to give up a bank. Good chance with Bustamante coming to the table. Probably give up game 1. Bustamante playing for 2. Oh, he hung it. And Cliff's got a bank at the 4. It's just a funny angle, and the 11 doesn't pass the 8. So I still think he'll shoot it some kind of way. Maybe go 2 rails into the 11 with the cue ball, trying to hold for the 8 or just come up for the 10. Yeah. So the first game's going to be conceded. The last 2 balls, anyways, excuse me. So, this is Jeremy Jones with Railbird TV Productions. Francisco Bustamante racking the balls. In game number 2, it's a round 4 match. Break into the same pocket that Cliff gave up the corner ball on. Didn't give up the corner ball. Pretty decent break as far as not letting Cliff do much aggressively, I don't think. But not one to get hard out of. Very difficult to get out of as far as Cliff playing safe in return. Now he's got to check the stack because some people stick to the stack here. There's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of choice. I like sometimes following down like this would spin. Now, he was really worried about creeping behind that ball. You got to worry about the kick on the stack as well, but it doesn't look that great here. So probably Bustamante feathers the ball and goes in the stack at least one more time. Maybe just taking a kick in the stack. Oh, he hit it with speed. That is very surprising to me. Didn't look like it was going to stick at all. You want that little wall or a couple of them really solid connected and solidly connected. Touchy first shot here. Got to really go into that ball a little bit because he could get no shot if he does that. That's what I would. Oh, no, he got it. Excuse me. He's got the 15. Perfect little angle to stop and make a decision from there. Maybe come 1 rail right into the 9. He got a little flat. Now he's going to have to move the ball a little bit or squeeze it. I thought he'd just hold and go 1 rail into the 9, and if not, go by and have a shot on the 11. But and this is where you got to make a decision. Do I play just jam him up on the 11? Do I go for the actual bank itself? Because who knows if I'm getting position. Oh, he hit it great. And he got himself in a funny spot. He's got a little bit the left side of the cue ball and a cut shot on the 11, but he's elevated on the 2. He's funny on the 7. I would probably clip the 12, the ball he's on, and try and drop below the stack here. He's funny coming off the 11 and going downward. Doesn't really want to open that bank alley right now. So I think that's what I do. The ball he's elevated on, I chip it, go the side rail, and drop down below these balls. You're asking for a miss hit with a stretch and being jacked up here, and this is critical. Maybe not to sell out, a direct shot, but to give up a big position shot. You can shoot through the 11, but he's probably going to let him look at the 12 that way. You can at least protect the 12 for sure also if you just chip it. Yeah, the 2 ball's really treacherous, trying to get through that ball and making sure you're not scratching, but you're not hitting it too light to give up a bank on the 2. Now he's going to shoot through this 11, and this is not bad. I get it. And he did pretty well with the spin to protect that 12, and that was very intentional. Now this is where Bustamante can maybe challenge Cliff and make things kind of difficult if he wanted to take a foul. Maybe roll the cue ball down to the first diamond on the end rail on the lower part of your screen. Oh, he's 3 round this 6, so he is going to challenge him. And that was, he knew it didn't go. He just was going to challenge him on the 12 regardless. And there's a couple different ways, like that one there didn't go. The actual bank didn't go, so there's a little, you could have lucked in a combo maybe, so there's a little value there, but you got to take away a little value because it doesn't go also. So sometimes you might think just to take a foul to make sure you put the cue ball exactly where you want on that end rail to challenge him, and it makes things just as tough. You know you're not giving him this little easy cross out on the 14 to knock the cue ball down here. Now Cliff let him see the 12, so probably shoots that off of Cliff's side somehow and gets the cue ball, and probably again around that first diamond on the right part of the top rail. Just hit it nice and thick, let the 12 float to the end rail with it. They kind of coast together. Oh, he cut it. That's a kiss, yeah. Looked like a kiss. He may have given up a bank. Now he's turned out all right because the cue ball got near that rail, so makes some of the banks probably not so possible or playable. Looks like he can maybe cross the 3 though. Nice high ball. Looks like he's got to shoot it a little bit, but Cliff's going to go ahead and bang some of these balls out of there. Now he's got to watch out when you don't have any on your side and you go to moving them like that. You don't know where they're going to end up. So now the cue ball, he wanted it much nearer the bottom rail, so that hurt a bit. But sometimes you might move one away slowly until you get one or two on your side, so you know you have some protection already in place. Bustamante's not going to waste any time shooting this at the pocket. Made the bank. Yeah. Now, I think he's got a free shot maybe on the 6, or maybe it doesn't go. He's got a bank on the 9. Pretty free. Keeps Cliff in a decently, not so good position. I think. Now he can roll this maybe one ball even, but I think he can roll the 6. But can he roll forward enough to get a shot on the 14? Oh, he's banking the 12 into the 9, or just clean maybe. Okay, he's banking this. This is a trap shot. He's going to draw this back. And he moved the 9 pretty well. Yeah, and he's got a bunch of them that go, so this is going to be a bad position for Cliff, possibly. And again, he can almost afford to challenge Cliff, letting him shoot at 1 with the 12 ball. If he want to just bank the 11 across, it's up to him. Oh, he can see the 12. Look at this shot. Well, that wasn't the intention. He was trying to draw the ball all the way across. Sometimes hard to gauge when you're near the ball like that. Now Cliff out to a 5-1 lead here in game 2. A little elevated. I don't think the 11 goes. It may. The 7, if you got in the absolute right position, does. The 7 banks though. So we'll see how he wants to play it. 6-1 and an opportunity to get some balls out of play, or maybe hang a bank rolling it. You got to be pretty secure because all the balls are still in play. And you can tell he's funny on this, so I'd keep it simple here. Yeah, see, like that. It just takes one shot to let Bustamante get started, and he's got a cut on the 3 ball that with 4 rails. He's got a 9, 2, and 15, is it? Or 14, excuse me, a 9, 2, and 14 that are very playable. So it should be 4 rails. He hit it thick. You could hear a little eye from Bustamante, knowing that was a nice one to shoot at, even though it wasn't easy, but one you would expect him to make at a pretty high rate. Watch out, 9-ball. Again, when you don't have a ball on your side, now there was a little different, but you didn't have a ball on the side, but you got to take your time moving those balls a little bit. You have to make sure something bad isn't going to happen. And notice how open the cue ball was. So, of course, the 9 going up and down the table in between these balls didn't have to happen. But you could certainly imagine a ball up table getting to where Bustamante could long rail bank that ball. Or maybe 1 or 2 balls getting up table to where he had choices to long rail bank the ball. So, especially with that big lead, but still a bit unfortunate. Okay, Bustamante probably won't try to do anything funny with the stroke here. He may draw into the 2, but I think he comes across into the 11 here. I don't know if I draw into the 2. I think I just go ahead and take my chances going into 11. Oh no, he drew it. And that seemed like, just see how steep he was on the 14 anyways. I know he overcut it a bit, but I think he maybe should have just leveled out and taken his chances coming 1 rail into the 11 ball. Maybe not. Big bank here for Cliff Joyner on the 14. I think he can roll this and nestle him up behind those balls too if he wants. Is he banking the 11? No, he's banking the 14. Oh, he played it with inside to come down. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely trying to play the cue ball up on those balls. Now this is where you try to probably kick this up a bit, I would say. A lot of people ease this and try and use a little bit of a snooker, but with nothing on your side, I would get this a little further away from the hole if I could. Nothing hard, but just a little further than normal. Yeah, like that. And he still did real well with the cue ball. But that's the reason why I was mentioning that as far as moving the 3. Too easy for Bustamante to put you in the upper part of the table. And now he's got a delicate shot off the 2, guiding the cue ball right by the 3. It's going to catch a piece of the 3, and he's going to give up a bank shot. Now, it'll be funny in a odd kind of, let's see if he goes 1 rail into that 6 trying to open these balls, or the 7, excuse me. I think that's about how it lays. And you can play it with a nice pocket speed. Otherwise, he's got to hit it with more speed with a high right ball to get shape. So I think the shot is to break this out just straight high English, 1 rail right, kind of lightly into the 7. Oh, he went with the inside. He hit it great, but did you see how far he had to go for position? And the one thing about the way he shot it that's real nice is he could have kept Cliff trapped as well. He's got a 2 rail bank maybe here on the 6. He's really near the rail. If he was a hair off the rail more, I mean, just right in Bustamante's wheelhouse. How do you hit it? Oof. Cliff laid the cue on the table. This won't take long. There we are. Okay, Cliff's just going to knock this 6 away, I think. And again, Well, maybe he's looking at the 11. It looks like the 11 he's got it. Maybe he can go through it. Maybe he can stun it and kind of stiff the bank in, but I thought it was sitting a little funny. Is he drawing this one rail over? Oh, he's just playing it lightly. Surprised Bustamante's. Yeah, the cut's a little too thin on that bottom rail, but okay, you can see the 11. So again, if you're going to move 2 here, be careful with the cue ball. Could give up a free shot. Oh, watch out 6. Watch out 6. Looks like he's going to be okay. Not going to like some things about it, that's for sure. It's going to be up table. Don't think he can do much but just come off the 2 ball and try and find that spot where that 1 rail kick underneath the 11 isn't so easy for Cliff. Now that's not so easy for Cliff, the 1 rail kick. Yeah, it's not bad actually. Just got to be very careful. Still may have to try and spin kick at this 11 a little bit. Not easy to come off the ball by the side, the 13 I think it is, and guide the cue ball. Oh, that's the 11, excuse me. The 13 is the ball nearest Bustamante's pocket. Yeah, caught it in the face. He's going to give up a little bit of a cut shot, I believe. And if the 7 goes as well, Bustamante, he's got a couple different ways he could shoot this. He could kill it. He could kind of pull the cue ball, which I don't think he'll do that. He may. He's had a couple of these shots, though, that have gotten away from him. He had a thin one on the 3 that had position on a few balls earlier in this game. And that's not going to get there. But he's left it in a funny spot, I think. I'm not sure Cliff can get right at it. No, he can't for sure. So there is a spot on the end rail where Bustamante can't shoot the 11, but it's not a fun way to play the game here, putting him down there and just hoping he gives you something better. You might not get anything at all, and that's what he's doing. He's done real well. But does Bustamante just kiss off the 14, guiding the 14 into the 6, letting the cue ball come down the end rail and just making things really tough for Cliff? Just guide past the 2, I think. All right, he's going to play off the 2. I think, anyways. Is he? Oh, okay. He's cutting it a long ways. Pretty good with the cue ball. That's what I mean. He gets to bring another ball and play. Only having 3 and keep you in that familiar position. Now you got another funnier angle, and you're going to give up a 3 railer on the 1 if you do get the cue ball in a good spot. So that's why I was saying last shot maybe was the time to blast the 14 into the 11, try and stun the cue ball safe. That kiss may have been all right. I don't know. It's close. I think Bustamante can make the 13 if he wants. Yeah, he can shoot it with outside also. You can tell this ball's off the rail just enough, so he'll come back near the spot a couple rails. Oh, he played it with inside. That was interesting to me because that path right there could have get you thin or on this combination, and thought with outside he could spread the cue ball up above. Maybe not though. These guys always know best being at the table with those angles. That was a nice confident stroke. Now 5 apiece. Might go 3 rails here. Probably just pounds it 2 rails across. Like that. A shot that's, I think, one of the most important shots to know, that type of shot. Instead of running the cue ball with inside English all the time. Really developing that back and forth with the cue ball. Bustamante squeezed out game 2. And Cliff Joyner will be breaking in game 3. It's a round 4 match here at the Derby. The 2020 Derby City Classic, the one pocket division. Cliff Joyner has a loss, so not in the best of spots for his survival here in the one pocket tournament, but he did win the lag, and it just takes holding your serve both times and stealing one on Bustamante's break. So many times Cliff's been in this position and has gotten the job done. So we'll see what he can do. He needs to start off with a little better break. Sold out the corner ball last time in game number 1. Okay, may have sold out another shot. Just kind of overhit the ball is all. Actually hit it decent. I mean, the hit on the ball was actually pretty good. Just he had underhit the last one. He just kind of probably reminded himself, hey, what happened, and got away from him. Big shot though for Bustamante. I don't. 5 may go, but oh, it does. Still surprising because I guess with the 6 the way it is, he can play for position on the breakout there. Doesn't want to get jacked up though. That's going to be a little upsetting. He's still going to shoot it though, I think with a little speed. He's got banks that'll probably open up. Oh, he hit it great. So he'll go into the stack here. And just perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, Cliff Joyner is going to probably get knocked out of this tournament. Just hate to see it go. Great player, Hall of Famer. Bustamante is going to move on after a couple of just mishits on the break for Cliff. I think he played pretty well when he got to play. I think that's all he needs. So Bustamante is going to move on to the 5th round. Cliff Joyner eliminated. It was an exciting match, some good play and some good position play and or positions. And thank you very much. I'm Jeremy Jones with Railbird TV Productions, and have a good night.